everybody. Hello. Monae Everett here. For those of you that don't know, I am Monae Everett. I am a hair and a makeup artist. And I got degrees in communications and sociology. So this show, Black Love, is right up my alley. The basis of tonight's episode of Black Love was, it is not what you say, it is how you say it. Dr. Jack A. Daniels said that to the women, and he gave them some exercises where they needed to focus on how do you get what you need from your mate. It was really important to him that the ladies said things in a correct way to get what they needed from their man. So, like, who was it? Which girl said it? I don't think it was Jay this time. Maybe this time it might have been Cynthia or Tanisha. I don't know. I'm telling you, these beautiful black women, it's 5 of them. But God, for the life of me, I cannot tell them apart. I promise you, by the time we come back off a break, I will have them now. One of them said that when she gets with a man, she likes to train him and whip him into shape just like a dog. And of course, the male doctor, Dr. Jack A. Daniels, was not here for her, comparing her man to a dog. He was like, girl, maybe we'll say something like everybody needs to be trained in how to treat you, rather than something like, you know, you train them like a dog. So he gave them an exercise of saying different words in different ways. Like one word was, say sex. Say it in a seductive way. And she was like, sex. Now say it in an angry way. And she was like, sex. So, you know, y'all get the point. After this, the ladies were sent to the Museum of Sex in downtown New York, where they talked about a lot of different ideas about being more intimate and more open with your partner. How you say things makes all the difference. You know what? I learned that constantly, and I learned the importance of body language and tone and inflection when you're speaking to someone. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause for a second and let you know that Uptown Magazine is now sponsoring my Periscopes. Does anybody know Uptown Magazine? They are the high-class magazine that is focused on sex, love, and politics. So they like what I'm doing on Periscope so much that they are sponsoring the show. So tap your screen for them. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So, you know, I'm blessed. I figured, how about pass on to you guys? So what we're going to do is a few different giveaways. So I guess I'll tell you now. You can win a full subscription for a full year for a digital copy of Uptown for the whole year. The person who wins that is going to be the person who gave the most hearts. Okay, so back to Black Love. So they were sent to the Museum of Sex, where they discussed different types of ways of being intimate. But what I noticed about this reality show that was different from other reality shows was it wasn't gratuitous. They didn't get like down and dirty, and they did not pry into anybody's individual sex life. And while your girl is nosy, I want to know who you getting it from, how, where, how often, do you like it, what do you like, what don't you like. I want to know everybody's business. I think it helps us to stay focused on the actual workshops of Black Love if they don't get that down and dirty. I do like that clearly the show's getting sponsorship, because they're showing like the Museum of Sex and the different restaurants that these women are attending. That's a lot of info to know, girl. I want to know everything. Whatever you want to tell me, I want to know. I always say you can learn so much from people. Remember Laree, y'all? Yeah, I told y'all every time I describe her, I'm going to say Laree is this girl, where it's like smashed down on this side and like big hair. I'm not hating, because you know what? You don't need to look like everybody all the time, but that's the only way I remember her. Carl sat her down and he stared deeply into her eyes and he said, Laree, I love you. You are the woman I want to be with. And Laree was like, thank you. Womp, womp, womp. So he felt hard. So Laria is a beautiful young black woman, very chocolate, and he is an older white man, and I think he came for her neck. He was like, yo, it ain't that serious. If we ain't going nowhere, I ain't got to be with you, I will leave. You get a little bit of time to think about what you want to do in this relationship, and then I'm up out of here. And miraculously, the next night, she was all like, no, I'm trying to move on with you, too. I want to go to a next relationship level. She talked to the male doctor, Jack A. Daniels, and he was like, girl, you just broke his heart. You crushed his spirit. You drop-kicked his ego, and, you know, men and their egos. Yes, a straight to the point man. Yes, let me tell you what. I think she thought, oh, he's an older white dude. He'll wait, whatever. Baby, he sat up, adjusted his shirt, popped that collar and was like, listen here, honey, is this a waste of time? Because your boy will move on. And she was like, She got that right on together, baby. You know, sometimes we women, we play games too. Sometimes we've been hurt. We don't know what to do. Okay. So Dr. Jack A. Daniels told her, y'all, when I keep looking away, it's because I got notes. Because, you know, I want to make sure that I'm, you know, not running along like a crazy person. I've been there as well. I've been here. Yes, he definitely told her he laid into that ass. And she was like, yeah. So, Dr. Jack A. Daniels told her, if you're not comfortable telling him, I love you, that's fine. You need to be honest and to the point, reveal your feelings and say that you're trying to give love a chance. And she did say that. So Cynthia, the woman who, I think I got this one right, she is 8 months separated and she's going to try to go online dating because, you know, that's all the rage. Everybody online, you know, I may or may not be on somebody's site, you know. Yeah, no need to lie about loving somebody, but say where you are. Say, well, I'm working on me. Say, I don't know about us for this reason. Say something. Don't say thank you when somebody says they love you. You get a chick like me who say, I love you, and you look at me and I might punch you in the face. I'm just letting y'all know now. Get your bail money together. So once again, but people mistake love for you being in love. Yes, there are differences. Absolutely. I agree on that. Love is I want the best for you. I want everything, you know, to work. And love is, baby, I want you. Yeah, you know. Well, that might have been lust, but closer to that, you know. So once again, we're doing the 1 year Uptown subscription to whomever gives me the most hearts. You do that by simply tapping your screen, and at the end I can see who gave me the most hearts. So for all of y'all who be like, oh, Monae, I love you, I'm down for your periscopes, and I see you gave me 10 hearts, I'd be like, yeah, I've been making them faces. Okay, so Tanisha, who I call the purple man-eater, because all she ever talks about, yeah, side-eye, all Tanisha ever talks about is how controlling she is. Like when someone says they have love for you. Yes, I agree, Aina. So Tanisha, the purple man-eater, thank you, Lori. They told her, you know, you come across as, first thing you notice, love it, thank you. They told Tanisha, I cannot for the life of me get this doctor's name. Hey, Jay in the City. Jay in the City just joined in. Jay in the City is one of the characters on Black Love. So, Jay, I'm so happy to see you. We're going to talk about your date with Nika in a minute, okay? Let's finish up with Tanisha. So, Tanisha, the purple man-eater, Miss I'm always so mean to men and I'm so controlling. Surprisingly, they told her, you're welcome, Jay. I would love to have you on the air, so I was going to email you, but I'm just asking you all in front of everybody else. Hey, why don't everybody tweet to Jay and say, Jay, you should let Monae interview you on Black Love and Beauty. So we'll talk about the show Black Love, and then we'll go into some beauty stuff. So y'all should tell her that. Attack her and FYI, and tell them that that needs to happen. So Tanisha, the purple man-eater, who always talks about how controlling she is, surprisingly, they were like, hey, you come across really masculine, try to get some feminine energy. I go in on Tanisha because she verbally says so much about how controlling and how bossy she is. And I feel like so many of us are that way, whether we say it or we don't. So I don't know if it's better to be bossy and not admit to it, or better to tell a man, listen here, I'm in charge. I run this. We're going to do this my way. I don't know which one is better, but she's very entertaining to me. I see a lot of myself in her. Now, let's get to Jay. And this is awkward. I'm feeling like Wendy Williams with my Wendy Williams wig and everything. Like, I got to be accountable for what I'm about to say. Jay is in the building. Say hello to Jay, everybody, because she is watching. So, Jay went out with, I believe she just tried to correct me on her name and say it's not Nika, it's Nakia. I follow Nakia on Instagram. I've been following her for a long time. She is a very entertaining, seemingly very smart, very nice woman. She is a producer. I know she just came out with a movie, and I know that from seeing her on Out in Hip Hop Woman. I thought it was very interesting when you guys went out, when you were out with the group, which is how they portrayed that you and Nika met. If I'm butchering her name, I'm sorry. I got to study up on it later. But she is not a lead character, so I don't feel but so bad. I thought it was really cool how you were open her. I think she is hot, girl. So when you said you were interested in women, and I saw her in the restaurant, I was like, Jay, you better get you some of that. If I remember correctly, when she was on Out in Hip Hop, she discussed how she is doing films that have a bit more explanation of the LGBT community. Her movies will portray homosexuals in a positive light, which is absolutely amazing. I'm happy to see it. Now back to this date before I get too far off track. So you guys went on this date, and I thought it was fabulous that you didn't go to your regular dinner and a movie date. I thought it was amazing that you guys did something really active where you kind of had to let your inhibitions down. But my favorite part of the date was when they asked her to jump into the little thing of foam, and she was like, I don't know y'all like that. I'm scared of heights. I ain't jumping into nothing. Jay, I thought it was awesome that you were like, well, I'll lead, I'll open up, I'll jump. And she was like, yo, I don't care if you jump. I don't know him like that, and I don't know her like that. But she eventually jumped. And Jay, I'm sure it was probably, and please correct me at any point, Jay. It's so fun for real. Correct me at any point, but I'm sure it probably was not easy having someone on the first date asking you, like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you in a relationship? Why aren't you willing to open up? Or you know, that was hard, but I would assume from how you asked, it probably wasn't the most comfortable when she asked you, were you masculine or feminine? And I am not a part of the homosexual community, so please do not be offended if I am not using the proper terms. I'm just trying to relay the story. Jay, since I have you on, why don't you tell me, how did you feel when she asked you, were you masculine or feminine, and how you relate in a relationship? I'd love for you to answer that, or anything you'd like to share about the date while we have you on, boo. Same. She was actually talking about her film Same Difference. Yes, she did make a film, Same Difference, that she talked about on Out in Hip Hop as well. Yes, but anyway. So let's move on to the beauty segment. Here is the beauty part of Black Love and Beauty. And a really great topic came on that they glossed over. I do believe it was the beautiful Cynthia going through divorce that brought it up. What's the difference? What do you think about, what do you feel men feel about relaxed hair versus natural hair? And I'll even throw in the category of relaxed / long straight hair extensions, or natural appearing hair. So I don't care if it's a weave, but it's sewed in to look like an afro or Nubian twist or whatever. Y'all work with me. Don't make it like crazy complicated. What are our opinions on that? What do we think men think about that? I'll tell y'all a little bit about this wig that I made. I see you. This wig that I made last year, and I got a lot of love for. I actually wore it when I spent 2 weeks in Kuwait last year. So I got a lot of not only opinions from black men and American men, but international men that I met in Dubai and Kuwait. So Face with Love said men don't understand the concept of natural hair. Men are absolutely clueless, she said. I was listening to the radio one day, and after a really big back and forth about natural hair, what they came to the understanding was when men say natural hair, they mean men hair growing from the scalp, out from your scalp. It doesn't matter so much natural, like relaxed or not to them. Aina Lee is saying that her man likes her natural hair, and he is even surprised to see when she is able to stretch it. Okay, whoever's giving me those blue and red hearts, keep rocking it. Yes, women mean natural as in not relaxed, and I'm learning that most of the time men mean natural as in growing from their scalp. So first off, when we have that conversation, it's already a major misconception and a major issue right there, because we're talking about two very different things, okay? They have no idea about natural or relaxed hair. So what do you hear men saying when they're looking for a woman? I'll say in New York, we hear a lot of conversations about natural versus relaxed, and generally it appears that a lot of women are under the perception that men step to you differently when you have long straight hair or long weave versus some type of afro textured hair. They keep calling a relaxer a perm, shaking my head, but so do women. Child, it kills me to death. And I'd be like, okay, so when you say perm, do you mean you made your hair curly or straight? I'm just trying to know because your terminology's so wrong. I'm trying to keep up. But let's be clear. I say relaxer because a relaxer means relax your hair straight. A perm means your hair is curled up to hold curl. So a lot of Caucasian and Asian women get perms to give their hair curl, and a lot of African American and Latina and Afro Latinas get their hair relaxed straight. Okay, so that is the proper terminology, and that is how we will be using it on. With this hair, I get a lot of attention from all types of men, black men, international men, anything. They believe this could grow out of my scalp. They wrong. It didn't. My hair is as fine as they come. We've talked about that. But they believe it's possible. And then they also assume because of the chinky eyes, my eyes be like that sometimes, and this wig, that makes me something other than black. No, fail right there. A lot of more mature men steps to a woman with natural hair. That's the point I'm getting to. More mature men seem to step with natural hair. They seem to think that a woman with natural hair is more mature. She's more of a lady. Not to say that women with long hair aren't. These are some things that I have heard, and that's why I'm asking you your opinion on what do you hear. Well, if we have many men on the scope, I'd love to hear your opinion on what do you think of women with afro textured hair who wear their afros proudly and locks and things of that nature. We always talk about how different things make you look different ways and how it gives out a perception to other people. I'm just putting it out there, I'm finding that long weaves just are not boding well in the dating community. If that works for you, rock it. But my impression of it is try to keep your hair extensions as natural as possible. Nothing wrong with a weave, but let it be believable. I be killing words, sorry. You love the convo. Thank you so much for scoping and joining in. Did you have any Black love questions or any questions about the beauty segment? We talked about how do men perceive straight hair, relaxed hair versus natural hair. And it appears, because you keep flashing, it appears that you're a guy. So if that is the case, I especially want to hear your opinion. I will say that men have not fully accepted natural hair. I hate to say that, the average man, they want natural-ish hair. When they say natural hair, I think that they assume everybody has this crap. This is a weave, and I curl my hair to go with it. Most women of African American descent or Afro descent have Afro textured hair, which is shorter hair that shrinks up a bit. Most of us don't have hair down here. Although my natural hair is this length, can't tell. It damn sure don't look like this. This is a lot of bundles of hair. But this is what men tend to think that they're going to get. So I love those memes that say don't support this if you don't support the shrunken in afro. Yes, I absolutely say if you are married or in a long-term relationship, in my opinion, 100% should include the man in that decision. I didn't say let him change your mind. What I said was include him, educate him. A lot of people are scared of what they don't know. You can educate him on the thing of relaxers bother your scalp. There's tons of research saying that it leads to, I have a friend that hosts speed dating events for men who love natural hair. Absolutely. So that's a good idea. Communication is important. Explain to him the health effects of relaxer. Explain to him you simply don't want to, but there are other hair options. Remember that when he got with you, he was kind of going for a certain look. Men tend to think that you're going to look the way you are when they get with you. To completely spring something new on every man is not cool. You got some men who just don't care. They love whatever from here down. But a lot of men really do care. You better believe I would have men who say, oh my God, could you do my wife's hair this way? Or could you make it look better? Or they bring their wife back to me because I don't know who the hell she been going to and they never looked that good. If you decide to go natural, include your man in that decision. I didn't say let him tell you what to do. Okay? Do not and I see your hearts, girl. Keep those hearts going. Uptown is sponsoring this post, so whomever gives the most hearts will win your digital subscription. Don't let him tell you what to do by any means. Just don't come in a whole different person, is what I'm saying. If you fall in love with him for his locks or whatever, and you walk by and they just ain't there, you're going to be like, yo, where the locks at? Or his beard or something like that. And it is just a courtesy is all I'm saying. Explain to him, because another reason I say that is, why have drama in your house? This chick ain't never been married. But I have worked with a lot of different couples and I go to a lot of different homes. It appears to be enough fun to run a home. Why argue over here? We women, we always want to argue and make him understand. I am learning. You can't make nobody do nothing, even understand. And we women always want to be wanted. I think even more than we feel the need to be respected and loved by our man, we want to be wanted. It is not going to help you to give him a reason to not like what you're doing. And what I find with men is it's not normally just about the change. So in this case, with a man, it's not just because you changed your hair. It's because you didn't think enough of him to include it and you just did whatever the hell you wanted to do in this relationship. That's all I'm saying. It was no different than I had some heat damage in my hair and I wore complete wigs for a year, and the guy I was with just hated it. My hair was braided out, so it was no blending, it was no scalp. Like right now, people always come up to me, your hair feels so nice. They don't know whether they grabbing my hair or not, but they know it's not a wig. But when I wore my full wigs, it was very clearly a wig. And then, I got so comfortable, it got hot sometimes. I'd snatch that thing off and throw that thing on the doorknob, and that freaked him all the way out. I mean, I didn't really like him enough for it to be a major issue in the long term, but he did express to me, like, can you tell me what's going on with their hair? What does your hair look like underneath there? Why are you wearing wigs? What's going on? Just throwing it out there.